Hi Matt, it's Sally from Strength Ambassadors here. I wanted to make you a video to answer your question to me. You're a runner and a cyclist, you do a lot of long distance running, you're getting into ultras. And you told me that you suffer from lower back pain a lot and you also think that your posture needs improvement. My message to you is you need to make sure your glutes are working properly and are active and are strong. So I've got some exercises to help you do just that. So there's some exercises that you can do pre-run as an activation as part of your warm-up, and that's going to make your glutes perform better when you then go for your run. And the other exercises are exercises that you can do at a different time, so maybe at home, maybe on a different day, maybe after your run, and they're more about kind of strengthening exercises. So I hope you enjoy. Take it away. This next exercise is called Glute Bridge. Really good for glute activation and strength, this one. So, lie on your back, draw your knees up, heels about a foot or two away from your glutes, so not all the way out here, they're nice and close. One leg up in the air, heel pointed to the ceiling, and then on this side, the working side, you're going to squeeze your bum, and then use your glute muscles to push your hip up into the air. So squeeze your bum, push the hip up. It's not a huge movement, but you've got to make sure that it's all coming from your glutes. So squeeze, push up, and then swap legs, do the other side, 10 reps of each. Now this exercise, Matt, is perfect for you because it's going to really work the glutes, and it's also going to work your core really hard. What it is a plank. You're probably familiar with a plank, with a leg lift, and it's a bit harder than it looks. So first of all, you want to get into a plank position on your elbows, and of course, as with any plank, you've got to make sure that your bum is down, so your body's in a nice straight line, tensing your glutes, squeezing your abs, keeping in that line, up on your toes, and then in this position, you're going to lift your leg 10 times, so pointing your heel to the ceiling, making sure that you don't pop your hips. So it's not this with your hips in the air, it's this down here with your hips nice and low, pushing your heel up to the ceiling. So that's pretty good. It's a pretty challenging one. I'm out of breath already. So I recommend doing 10 leg lifts each side, then a little break, and then do a couple more sets. But it's good, it'll really challenge both your core and your glutes. Now Matt, the king of all leg strengthening exercises is the squat, so this is what I recommend. And I'm actually going to recommend 3 different stances. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with a normal stance, so that's feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned out. For the moment, have your hands in front. And you're going to squat down, pushing your knees out as low as you can, stand up. What I want you to do is make sure that your back is arched all the way down as you push your knees out. Keep your heels on the floor as well. So if you can't keep your heels on the floor, then you'll have to only go down as low as you can whilst keeping your heels on the floor. So you're going to do shoulder width apart stance first for 10 reps. Then you're going to take your feet wider than shoulder width apart, and do the same for 10 reps. So we still want to point the knees out, still want to keep the posture good, still want to keep the back arched with that wider stance. And then the last stance, you probably know what's coming next, is a narrow stance. So this is really tricky. If you can do it, heels together, toes slightly turned out, and again, you're going to go down into a nice deep squat, trying to keep your heels on the floor and your back arched. It's a pretty tricky one, so don't worry if you struggle with it. So that's like a kind of a standard squat. Now, if you're struggling a bit, and it's not a problem if you struggle with it, a lot of people struggle with squats initially. To make it slightly easier, you can put your heels up on a step or a plank of wood. I've just got a plank of wood here. So I would just put my heels on, and that's going to make it easier for me to get down into a nice deep squat, easier for me to keep my balance. So I recommend raising your heels if you're struggling a little bit. If, however, you're doing really well and you've got great squat form, then it's time to make it a little bit more challenging. And you can add a bit of load. So I've got a kettlebell here. You could also use a dumbbell or a bag of compost or whatever you've got really. But hold the weight close to your chest, go into your squat stance, and then do these exercises with the weight and bob's your uncle. So you're going to get strength from this, you're going to get mobility, you're going to get really good activation of your glutes, your hamstrings and your quads. And it's going to make you a better runner, which is why we're here. So hope you enjoy that exercise. See you soon.